Hey folks, and welcome back to The Full Later Life. This is a channel where we celebrate living boldly and fully in our 40s, our 50s, our 60s and beyond. And whether you are rediscovering old passions or chasing new adventures, this space is all about making the most of every chapter. Now today I'm going to be talking about something that's really important to me, and that's bike safety. And did you know that in 2024 alone, over 100 cyclists lost their lives and thousands more were injured on the roads in California where I live? And I'll bet you that your local stats are not that much better either. It's a sobering reminder that even when we're enjoying life on two wheels, we need to stay sharp and we need to stay safe. Now I'm not going to be diving deep into the stats today, but I wanted to start with that context before we got into the real story, so let's roll. Now I'll be honest, I only really got into cycling when I hit my 50s, and before that bikes were mostly childhood toys for goofing around on and seeing how far I could ride with no hands before crashing into a hedge or taking some alien visitor back to a spaceship in the woods somewhere. Riding as a grown-up? Well, that's totally a different experience. You know, gone are the days of skidding through puddles and pretending to be in a BMX show. Well, I guess mostly if anyone's watching, that is. Now it seems to be all about helmets and lycra, keeping your ride clean, drilling over the latest Shimano group set and hoping that a car doesn't hit you and break your leg, or more importantly, smash your expensive bike. And being originally from the UK, I had to adjust to a whole new set of traffic rules out here in California, and they drive crazy here. But let's just say figuring out which side of the road to be on was, well, a bit of a learning curve. But now, riding is a big part of how I live a full later life, and that meant not learning how to ride better, but how to ride safely. And as a cyclist who also drives, I have to hold up my hands and say, you know what? I'm guilty of doing the very things that make life harder for cyclists sometimes. You know what I mean, like eating a snack while driving, or fumbling with their music to change the channel or the tune, or sending a quick text, which we all know is never quick and it's never as harmless as we tell ourselves it's going to be. Or maybe swinging that car door open without checking the mirror properly. I've even caught myself edging over the speed limit thinking it's just a few miles over, it's not going to hurt anyone, right? You know, all the kind of stuff that if the roles were reversed, I'd be shaking my fist at that terrible, inconsiderate driver. You know, it's a humbling reminder we're all part of the same road ecosystem, and a little more awareness on both sides can go a long way. Now, it would be easy to point the finger at drivers, and sure, there's plenty of critique out there, but let's be honest, as cyclists, we're not always shining examples of road wisdom either. I mean, I've seen, and yep, I've even done my fair share of dumb stuff on those two wheels, you know, like blowing through a red light like I got VIP status, or weaving between cars like I'm in an 80s video game or something, blasting music from my earbuds so loud that if a car beat me, I couldn't even hear it if it came with fireworks. And then there's the classic mistake of not planning routes properly and suddenly finding myself pedaling for dear life on a 6-lane highway with no shoulder. Distracted and dangerous riding is just as real as distracted and careless driving. At the end of the day, safety is everyone's responsibility, but you know what, let's face it, if there's a collision between my soft squishy meatbag body and a 2-ton metal box, I know who's coming out worse. Yep, it's gonna be me. You know, cars have crumple zones, airbags and climate control, and meanwhile I'm out here with a sliver of carbon fiber with a plastic hat and a prayer. It's no surprise drivers cocooned in comfort can sometimes drift into autopilot, while we cyclists tend to stay more tuned in, you know, like being exposed just naturally sharpens your senses a little bit, but still, awareness only goes so far if we're not all doing our part to look out for each other. Yeah, and so today I'm joining the Ride of Silence here in Pasadena, and it's a group ride that quietly promotes cycling safety, and it also honors those that we've lost.
Tonight, we number many, but ride as one. In honor of those not with us, friends, mothers, fathers, sisters, and sons. With helmets on tight and heads down low, we ride in silence, cautious and slow. The wheels start spinning in the lead pack, but tonight we ride and no one attacks. The dark sunglasses cover our tears, remembering those we held so dear. Tonight's ride is to make others aware. The road is there for all to share. To those not with us or by our side, may God be your partner on your final ride.
And I'm recording this talking part beforehand because during the ride I want to be fully present and respectful. You know what? No chatting, no doing a running commentary, just a quiet hum of wheels on the pavement and a shared sense of purpose. And while I usually ride with music, I'll be leaving my safe, bone conduction, non-ear blocking headphones at home. You know, and this event isn't just about raising awareness, it's a memorial for every cyclist who never made it home. It's a powerful reminder of why safety matters, because behind every statistic is a name, a story, and a life cut short. And I won't be riding alone. This year, the Ride of Silence is taking place in 239 locations across 40 US states and 14 countries spanning 5 continents. Thousands of cyclists are coming together in a global silent procession to honor those injured or killed while cycling on public roadways. It's a powerful, unified statement that transcends borders and languages. A reminder that cyclists have a legal right to share the road and that every life lost is one too many. Now, I'm heading to this special event because I truly believe it's important to raise awareness that we all need to take responsibility, drivers and cyclists alike. One bad decision, one moment of distraction, and everything can change. An injury can make living a full later life a lot more difficult, and maybe not impossible, but certainly more complicated. Hopefully, as we ride in silence, motorists will see the sheer number of bikes on the road and think twice the next time they're behind the wheel. And for us cyclists, it's a quiet but powerful reminder to stay smart, stay alert, and look out for one another too. Now, many of us watching, I know, are people like me who really didn't get active until later in life. You know, when I started with running, I eventually got into cycling, and for many, cycling could be an easier way to get moving because it's low impact on the joints. Now, if you spent years driving everywhere, hopping on a bike might feel about as comfortable as trying to do yoga in a phone booth. And you know, even if you can find a phone booth these days, seriously, don't do that. And maybe you're having second thoughts, especially after hearing all the scary stuff that I've just talked about. But you know what? Don't let that put you off. Cycling is a fantastic form of exercise that can boost your health and happiness. And you know what? Riding a bike as an adult is probably going to be very different from how you remember as a kid. Less popping wheelies, more checking traffic apps and adjusting your helmet straps, but it's still going to be fun. You know, and with a little awareness and common sense, and maybe remembering that sidewalks aren't bike lanes, it's really quite safe. Just start out on quieter routes or bike paths where you can build confidence without feeling like you're starring in your own action movie. And before you know it, you'll be tackling the Tour de France. Or maybe likely a gentle pedal through French wine country, which actually, to be honest, sounds much more appealing. Well, to me anyway. So let's live our full later lives while staying safe so we can keep enjoying every moment and every ride and every adventure ahead. And to all you non-cyclists out there when you're behind the wheel, you know, just please be aware of us sharing the road. We're not trying to slow you down, like really we're not. We're just trying to get home in one piece too. And together we can make the road safer for everyone. Now, I want to thank you all for joining me on this journey of living a full later life. And if you've got any great stories about getting back on the bike after years away, then just drop them in the comments because I'd love to hear them. And who knows, your story might just be the encouragement somebody else needs to hop back into the saddle. And you know what, also share if you have any close shaves on the roads because they would be a poignant reminder for all of us to take care out there. You know, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content, and I'll see you again in the next video.